Up with Jordan and Ron.
Welcome to Hooking Up with Jordan and Ron. I'm Jordan.
I'm Ron.
And welcome back. It's been a while.
It has been a while, hasn't it?
We've been so busy, which I wanted to say, like, how lucky I feel that I've been so busy.
Yeah,
you know?
it's true.
And I have, like, a new job that is just different from what I've had before, which takes me away from, time I had to myself. But at the same time, I'm glad to have it, you know?
And I was directing a show, which I was there every night.
Which is an
for
awesome
months.
show.
Yeah, it was great. It was Cinderella over at Croswell Opera
So
House.
fun and so funny.
Yeah.
I liked I didn't know that they had
updated it.
Yeah, is that called a revival or what is that?
A revisal.
Revisal.
I guess, right?
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
revisal.
Good word.
Yeah. And I was busy on that. Plus, we had some equipment failure, so we had to replace some equipment.
And thank you, Ron. Ron did like countless hours of research, and this device we have set up now, if you could only see it, the cords and everything, and it's just amazing. So we're very excited.
If you ever just want to do your own podcast and you research how to do a podcast, I'm going to tell you every single one of those is wrong. None of them work. None of them
Interesting.
work. Yeah. The ones that tell you just go ahead and
Did you watch a bunch of videos?
Yeah. And the ones that say, go ahead and just record it on Zoom and then just do the sound.
Gosh.
No,
Ew, no.
that stuff doesn't work. Yeah. And then there's there's special programs you can buy. Those don't really work. I tell you, it's all your equipment. It's whatever your equipment is. And we're just recording it right off of a Mac with our Bose speakers here, but it's all the wiring and how you get it hooked up.
Right.
You may recall our last couple, you could hear me really well, and you could hear Jordan kind of, and our guests you really couldn't hear very well, and we had to crank it all up.
Right.
No more.
That's right.
We're in
back,
the modern
and
age.
But do let us know if you hear anything crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, we usually hear it too, but yeah.
I mean, we do go back and edit everything before we have. Oh no, I shouldn't have said that. We should have said they're all live. Everything we do, you're hearing
it depends.
live.
Yeah, it depends.
Yeah.
But no, well, cool. So did you enjoy directing the show, Ron? Tell us about it.
I loved that. Was my 57th show.
Oh my gosh.
That I've directed. Yeah.
Wow.
So it was. I've been around. I've been to that rodeo. Right? But no, it was really fun. It's wonderful to work at the Croswell Opera House, and I had an amazing
It's a beautiful
cast.
space.
It's a beautiful space, and we had a full live orchestra, and just these beautiful sets and flying and magic tricks, and I mean, just
the
all
costumes,
kinds of really cool
like
stuff.
the interchangeable, reversible costumes. And,
Cinderella's dress changed on stage, so she doesn't go off and suddenly put on a new dress. She spins around and a new dress appears magically in front of the audience. And it's just so cool. It was so fun. We had great audiences. We had so many little princesses, all these little 5-year-old princesses.
They're so cute. I know my niece Paige dressed up to go see it herself. Yeah.
That's so cool.
So
we
dear.
were basically sold out the whole time. But it takes so much time.
Right.
So much pre-planning and so much rehearsal time and then the tech time. And then I actually got to rehearse by the time I got to relax by the time the show opened.
Yes. Good.
But I was able to just visit with, audience and say hi. And, I had to say a few quick words to my cast before we started each day. And that was about it. My job was done once we had opened,
Right.
But the tech folks keep working show after show.
Absolutely. And making sure everything goes off without a hitch.
Yeah. And it was a 3-week run. So it was a very busy,
That's a nice long
3 weeks.
run.
It's a long run. I think everybody got their energy's worth out of it. It's when I direct stuff in Ann Arbor, they only do shows for one weekend. And it's it's
that's
so
really
much,
short.
Yeah, so when
Why
I did
is that?
Spring Awakening,
Is it like a budget thing?
It's a budget thing. It's the cost of renting everything because Ann Arbor Civic Theater doesn't own their own theater. So, I mean, they have a studio which you can have 30 audience members in, so they can do little shows there. But if you rent something like, a U of M space, which is where we did that show, you can only really afford one weekend. And even if you wanted to add a second weekend, the costs would prohibit doing that because it costs so much to rent the show. And then you also have to rent the theater and you also have to rent the parking lot people.
Oh, interesting. I didn't even think about all those parts. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, with Croswell, I guess they own the space, so they can control who's going to be there when and how
Right.
and
It's
all
Michigan's
that.
oldest theater, 160 years old.
I didn't know that. The whole state of Michigan.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's really cool.
Adrian used to be a major stop. Our Adrian people are going to be clapping
I
right
love
now.
it.
He's
Yes.
used to be a major stop on the railroads. And that for a while was the biggest city in Michigan. And then eventually the railroads moved north and went to Detroit. They went to Kalamazoo and Battle Creek and up that way to Chicago rather than going through Adrian.
Okay.
And, it was left kind of off the beaten path.
Sure.
And It's always been a decent sized town, but
it's a nice downtown.
It's beautiful, but it didn't grow the way a lot of these cities that were on the train line grew, which is where industry went. So,
wow, I didn't know that. I love that history of Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan's a great state.
It is. It is.
Speaking of which, we're going to have some great visitors coming up in our next few episodes here.
Yes.
Who have their Michigan stories to tell.
Absolutely. Yeah. So our friend from Cirque, he's a DJ at Cirque, Stefan. We're going to have him on soon, we hope, working out dates. And then who else did we have in mind from Encore?
Dan Cooney and Jessica Grove, who are Broadway actors who now run the Encore Theater here in Michigan.
Dexter, Michigan.
Yeah, and they have a whole relocation story from Manhattan to here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
okay.
well, originally from here to Manhattan. Then Dan married Jessica, and then Jessica moved back here with him and the kids. But, with Chicago along the way. So they have some Chicago stories,
too.
That's
fun.
Yeah, so we'll have them on. Plus, we'll have some return guests. Some of you may remember our guest, John, from season 2, right? We're already in season 3.
He's in so many shows.
He is. He's currently in Frozen at the Encore. And,
I saw that last week. Great. Yeah. He did a great job. Yeah. And he's at something at Purple Rose coming up.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's so, we've had some stars on here, and, and Allison, who we had on, who owns the Disney Travel Company, has been busy with her things. And we're probably going to have her back because she has a somewhat different story to tell as well.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. But some family things there. We'll have them on. And so we got some good, interesting things coming up for you. So we're kind of back to the regular schedule now. So sorry we had a gap there, but
thanks for your patience. And another thing, selfishly, I'll share is today's my birthday.
Yay!
I'm very excited. I am 46. Yay! Which it feels funny to say that. I don't feel 46. I don't know what 46 feels like. Maybe this is what it feels like.
I think you hit a certain point where it just doesn't feel like that anymore. It just doesn't feel like you have you just feel like who you are.
Yeah.
And, the birthday isn't quite as like, wow, this is a real landmark.
Exactly. Exactly. It doesn't quite feel like a milestone or anything. No. And I can't recall if last year did feel that way at 45, but
no, I think our next milestone will probably be like 65.
Okay, that makes sense. Probably. Yeah, because I don't know if 50 will even. That's only 4 years away. So. That doesn't seem like it'll be a big deal.
I didn't feel anything when I hit 50. It was just like the same, except I got this surprise birthday cake. I was like, oh well, that's nice, but other than that, it didn't feel like any kind of milestone. So,
okay, interesting. I mean, life is different these days. People. There's so many more options of how to live your life and what you can do and how you spend your time. The world has really opened up.
Yeah, well, in that way. The 40s to 50s are our new 30s.
Exactly.
Really,
I agree. I agree.
It's kind of that's where I think life has moved. People are holding off to have relationships till later.
Sure.
In many cases, that's around the time, late 30s, early 40s, you start thinking, well, maybe I should be in a relationship. But you decide, I don't want to be in a relationship, which is also fine.
Exactly.
And then you build your friendships.
Yep. Speaking of which, I had a great date this week. I'm very excited.
Yay. Ron's applauding. Yeah.
Really excited. Really great guy from Celine and his 2 daughters, 8 and 5. Really interesting person. And it's funny enough, from Pittsburgh. So we went to the same school district, didn't know each other. He graduated from the school district I would have graduated from, North Allegheny. If we'd stayed there, instead of moving to Ann Arbor, which is funny, some of those connected elements of life that come up.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Then we went out so we had dinner on Tuesday. We went out to lunch yesterday, and third date coming up after the holidays. So
very cool.
Really excited. Yeah.
That is, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
great.
you. It's great timing because I kind of was feeling a bit jaded for a while there, I have to admit, especially about online dating.
Yeah.
And then was, thinking of maybe even going the matchmaking route, to be honest, which is an interesting route to take. Because it's not like I need to be married and I don't want children. So it's not, you know what I mean? There's no
there's no date.
Yeah. There's no
Yeah, there's no timeline.
Yeah, there's no timeline. And so I was like, do I really want to spend that money? And I did not. I almost went in for an interview where they get to know you and stuff, but decided not to at the last minute. And then lo and behold, this person popped up. So pretty cool. We'll see.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, congrats. That's so exciting. I can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah, I know. I look forward to
and if
sharing
things don't work out, you're going to hear about that on here too.
Sure enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that's funny, though, is his name is Nick, which is my ex-husband.
Oh, well,
so we have Nick 2.0. So fingers crossed.
Good.
You know, the second round.
Well, it's got to be better than Nick 1.0.
Sure.
Yeah, it's new and improved.
Indeed.
Yeah. I caught up while I was in Florida.
Yeah, you were just
last
there.
Week with a friend of mine who I was pretty close with there.
Okay.
That was nice. It went well, but I mean, there's no future in that.
Like had it been romantic at one time?
Yeah, a little bit kind of off and on-ish.
Yeah.
But there's reasons it never developed beyond that. You know? But yeah. And I also saw some other friends while I was there. That was fun. I didn't make a ton of friends, in all honesty, while I lived in Florida.
Right.
I lived there for years.
Kind of a different social group.
It was a very different kind of social world there. But I did catch up with the ones I'm closest with. And had a great dinner and wandered around and looked at the Christmas lights and Christmas trees at Disney World at the resorts.
It's so beautiful there during the holidays.
It's so nice.
You have to go if you haven't gone during the holidays.
Yeah.
I still want to go during Halloween at some point.
Also fun.
Yeah,
they go all out for Halloween too.
Mm-hmm.
You know? This is of course, if you're listening to this now, don't get on the phone and try to book something for the actual Christmas week, because that week of Christmas is horrible.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Is that just like
so packed.
Super expensive, super busy?
Super expensive and super packed. Like a lot of the parks are so full you can't even get in. If you're not in first thing in the morning, you're like locked out until people start to leave later in the day. You know, it's just I wouldn't recommend you're there for the actual holiday.
Right.
But before and after is fine.
Yeah. Because it's not just whether or not people realize this, it truly is a global destination.
Yeah.
So the amount of people, even in January, that are coming from South America, Central America, you know, because it's their summer.
Brazil
specifically. It's like giant population of Brazilians that come. So it just... But it's so fun. You have to go at some point.
Yeah, it is so fun. So that was what I did.
February is a good time.
Yeah, I caught up with a friend and some friends.
Okay.
And, you know, that was nice.
Good.
I was also ready to come back, except I wasn't ready to come back to the weather when
Correct.
I got back here.
Except it was kind of warm. It was like 40 for a couple of days here, but a little like
it was 3
rainy,
when I got
nasty.
Back,
oh,
you
no.
know? So, late at night, and it was close. But, you know, it wasn't that warm in Florida either. The warmest it got was 60.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that.
Okay. Yeah, so.
Still a break from the super duper cold.
I'll tell you just put on a couple sweatshirts and go.
Sure.
You know?
Absolutely.
But it wasn't like flip-flop and short weather. It was just, or pool weather or beach weather. It was too cold for all those things. I went to SeaWorld one day and I was actually surprised that they had
Is that a good destination?
I love SeaWorld. Yeah,
really?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll have to try that when I'm down there. Is it near Universal?
It's between Universal and Disney. It's literally a 15-minute drive from the Magic Kingdom. So it's like right there.
Okay.
And it's just, I was surprised they did the big shows, you know, the folks who are in the water tanks with the animals. And
even though it was like 40 or 50 out.
Freezing outside. Yeah.
I guess wetsuits, though, are pretty warm, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I guess they're designed that way. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. But you think even the animals would be cold, but, you know, although I suppose SeaWorld probably spoils these animals pretty well. So they probably have heated tanks if they need to.
Absolutely.
You know?
Well, and there are, I should know this, they're cold-blooded, right?
Yeah,
so then that kind of changes it a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah, but so I did that, and that was fun, and you know, just been busy. But you know, really directing the show is just a huge amount of time. I made a lot of new friends there. That was fun.
That's great.
I already have a lot of new friends at the Croswell and in the theater world here. And, you know, and doing some reviews of shows and continue to do reviews of movies. So it's just I've been so busy. I feel like I have no downtime. You know?
Wow. I know I'm in the office 4 out of 5 days of the week, which is really different because for the better part of the last 6 years, almost 7 years, I've been remote for my job. And I'm enjoying what I'm doing now, but it's different in many ways. So there's like kind of those days where you think, what did I get done? You know, but I was here, I was present and certainly helped and did whatever I could, you know, but it's an interesting feeling. To have a different work environment and be in person.
Yeah, it's very different these days. You know, and I actually love coming to work. You know,
do you?
Yeah. And but I only come in 1 day a week.
Oh, okay.
I work on Zoom the rest of the week.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And that gives me more time, like in the afternoons.
Right.
But because you were busy working,
yes,
we couldn't get our regular podcast time going. So we're cutting back and looking at better times to record.
Agreed.
Now, you know?
I think we'll have opportunities, you know, in the evening and weekends and stuff like that. Especially if you don't have a show going on.
I know.
But yeah, I haven't been playing as much tennis or doing as much Pilates, but really got into Pilates there for a while. It's so energizing and fun, and I would say one thing, like as I'm getting older, just being conscious of how much I need to move because I can get really stiff. That is one thing, and that I guess could probably happen even if you're 25. I mean, if you just sit around and don't, So that's been something I think a lot about.
Welcome to getting older.
That's right. That's right. So I want to focus more on, movement and continue some health journey stuff in the new year.
That's great. We have so much of that here in Ann Arbor. There's so many opportunities.
There is. Yeah. There's always something different and new to try. A friend of mine, Joy, teaches hot yoga. And it's interesting because it's not the Bikram hot yoga that's like super duper sweaty hot.
Yeah.
It's like, it's something like,
it's like
90
yoga?
something, 100, right?
That's okay.
So it's nice because it just, especially in the winter, it's
that's
just
like
relaxing.
Yoga.
There you go.
Yeah. That's the kind of stuff you used to do in your garage during the pandemic in Florida.
Yep. One other thing to share that I did this fall, I'll do a little plug for this company. I don't think we'll get paid for it, but this company called Real Roots is a way to meet friends. I think it's focused mostly on female friends.
Interesting.
But you take a quiz and they match you with a group in your local area. I went with like the Ann Arbor area, but I think I probably could have chosen Detroit as my destination as well. But you may see advertisements online of, dinner groups or other social activities, almost like meetup.com.
That's so cool.
But this is really cool. And I'm so lucky. I've met some very close friends through it, some wonderful women in the area. And it's just so interesting to think of like these people were just strangers several months ago.
Right.
But they have you meet weekly so that you continue to get to know everybody. They have you not only meet as a group, but meet one-on-one with different individuals as part of your group. It's just, what a wonderful circumstance to have found this.
That's very
so
cool.
Highly recommend that for any women out there. There might be a similar one for men. I'm not sure.
Probably. I mean, there's certainly meetup groups.
Right.
I think part of the problem is you get older in Ann Arbor, you realize you know almost everyone in the meetup groups. So you've already met all the people in the meetup groups, so you might as well just meet up with them as friends. Right?
Absolutely.
But but there are things like that, and like during the holidays in particular, I was noticing that there's so many like gay and lesbian choirs and choruses that do holidays, and it's a minimum commitment for rehearsals, and you can look up your local chorus.
Do you have to be a really good singer? Because I'm like an okay singer.
You do need to be able to sing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But and they do have, some of them have auditions, some of them are open to everybody. So, I mean, if you're an okay singer and just want to join a chorus, then there are those.
Yeah.
If you're a great singer, then there are also those. So, but that's always a great way. I'm a pretty good singer.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. But
are you baritone?
I am now. I used to be a tenor.
Did you?
Yeah. I used to sing with the New York City Gay Men's Chorus for like 5 years.
Fun. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was back in the, oh my gosh,
DC
so
has a really awesome one too.
They do. So does San Francisco.
Cool.
So does Chicago.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, Detroit's got a pretty decently sized one.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
And then Eastern has Measure for Measure, the men's chorus, which is not a gay chorus. It's just a men's chorus, which is very big.
I've heard of that.
Yeah. They do a lot of local appearances. So I think choirs and things like that are a great way to meet people.
Sure.
Because you instantly have, 30 to 100 or 180 in some choruses, new friends or people you can interact with.
Yeah. Well, and I think any kind of church environment is also a way that people meet, but I just don't happen to be a church goer.
Yeah.
We do, as far as I understand from my friends that are church goers, there are quite a wide variety of great churches in the area, and that can be such a wonderful community for some
absolutely.
as
and
well.
They have their own socializing, their dating clubs, they do their own theater things, they do choirs as well. It's those are great places to meet people.
Absolutely. As a kid, I loved, like, we went to church for a while growing up, when I was growing up, and my sister and I were both in Christmas pageants quite a bit, which is really fun. Like that was like, it's fun to be, it's another kind of celebratory element, I guess, right? Of the holidays.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
And so we have about a minute left, and I just, we are right here. We're going to post this just before the holidays.
So fun.
And, keep your eyes open for things that are happening in the local community. Take a look at the Observer. There's activities listed day by day. Go to some of these things. The libraries have got things going on.
Especially the downtown Ann Arbor Library.
Yeah. Go meet people. Go talk to people.
Yeah.
Go see who else is interested in things you're interested in.
To the cold.
Yeah, and the holidays is a great time to do that. Look at places you can go spend New Year's. Almost all the restaurants have got something going on for New Year's Eve. All the clubs certainly do.
That was another thing I got into this year was the Discord app. Which is, I think, some of the friends of ours that have been on the podcast discovered a long time ago because they're a little bit younger, and it's geared towards, I think, gaming and so forth. But it's like a server. That's the wrong term, but it's like a kind of a feed of information, almost like Reddit. But there's a trivia group. There's a greater Ann Arbor kind of like social group,
that's cool.
And then there's a trivia subgroup. And so from that, I've also met some friends.
Oh, that's very cool. Yep. It's almost like a meetup too of its own kind. It's like an online meetup.
It is.
Kind of
It is.
That's really cool. We'll talk more about that. We'll catch up on some of our previous guests that we've had. We'll
Looking
have some
forward
new
to
guests. And off we go. So you should have something regular to listen to again.
Yes. Happy holidays. And if we don't talk to you before the new year, Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Whatever you're celebrating. Enjoy it. Enjoy this season. It's going to be warm for the next week before we hit our January cold. So, which is, I'm not a huge fan of, but there you have it.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. And welcome back.